Good morning, everyone. Hope we are having a great day today, taking it from yesterday. I want to start by talking about Christine, who is an adolescent girl, and she was born with HIV, and she feels very overwhelmed with HIV and with medication. And she is a sad person. But I had to work with her to enable her know that life is still very beautiful and so much can be achieved with that. She had a problem with medication, how to take medication and keep it regularly. Adherence for her was a problem. And at one point she said she wants to give up and suicidal. She became suicidal. And it was a lot of work to bring her back and let her know the beauty of growing up, pursuing her education, and she wanted to become a medical doctor because of her condition, so that she can be able to help others. But the good news is that we finally had sponsors for her because her background didn't enable her to really go to school. She had challenges going to school as well. And so we had sponsors that supported her in her education, and she had her secondary and high school education. And she is married now, and she has 3 children who are HIV negative. So I think we are making progress, because that was the conversation we had yesterday. Are we making progress? I think we are making progress, because she has 3 children that are HIV negative. From somebody that was down, and somebody now who is very hopeful, and is looking at the bright side of life. Okay. The middle button? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, about women and adolescents, HIV actually has the face of a woman. I think we heard this yesterday, and we'll still hear it. They are overwhelmed, they are overburdened by HIV, so it has the face of a woman. Adolescents are buoyant, they are invincible, they are dynamic, daring, they are upbeat and adventurous. Adolescents' vulnerabilities, survival, growth, education, health, needing constant conversations. We need to have constant conversations with them around these areas, because this is where they feel more comfortable. Adolescents in crisis and in conflict situations, it's a serious concern. And if we are talking about HIV and in Africa, women in Africa, we should also put that in context because of the different conflicts and crises that are plaguing Africa. How this impacts on adolescents and how it impacts on women. Women, girls, children are the face of conflict and crisis as well. They are victims of rape, sexual exploitation, gender-based violence. Juggling between a free-spirited adolescent and the HIV treatment plan, including compliance, is not that easy. Because adolescents just want to feel free, they want to fly, they want to explore the world, and yet there is something that is holding them down that they should be able to stay focused, put their mind on the treatment plan that they have, and all of that. The environment for adolescents, Africa, we are here talking about women, HIV, and Africa. We're talking about those in the urban, semi-urban, and rural places. And the challenges that we have in Africa are also enormous in terms of systems. We have accessibility to treatment centers or facilities. We have issues with affordability and acceptability of the treatment plan. We have conflicts, we have crises that has led adolescents to become heads of families. They have unplanned pregnancies. They have issues with education, rape, sexual and gender-based violence. They are internally displaced, and the burden to host communities, because when they move from where they were to another place, they become a burden to that host community. And also they have access to treatment, they have access problems in this new environment. So when they move from where they were to another community, there is this problem of some communities are still very hostile to them. They don't know how to get into the health system, accessing the health system in their new communities. For fear of the insecurity, for fear of they don't know where they are, they don't trust their environment, their new environment. So it impacts their adherence. It impacts their treatment plan. There is also the education and treatment literacy. There are communities in Africa where the healthcare workers who provide services don't really get the clients engaged in what treatment they are involved in, why they should take this, why they should comply. And by the time you are asking questions about your treatment or about your health condition, it becomes a problem to the healthcare worker, because it's like, you want to teach me my work. So it's more of like giving orders than getting them involved in that discussion, that conversation about their treatment. And this impacts on adherence. The family support system needs to be very strong in order to support the adolescents to be able to comply, adhere to their treatment. And we have in our communities where they have the good part, where the families support them, and we also have the challenging situations where the families do not actually, they haven't really confided in their families because of the stigma surrounding it, because of the judgment that they are going to receive from the families. It takes a while for adolescents to actually disclose their status. Even for those who have gone through sexual gender-based violence, they don't talk because they are being judged, so they are scared. The experiences around adolescents is that the ARVs treatment actually restores hope. The efficacy in treatment is a daunting challenge for adolescents. And understanding and addressing their psychological and psychosocial issues boost treatment and adherence. Depression, education, association, they want to associate, they want to feel free with their peers, they want to feel that they are the same with every other person. So it is important that we address their psychosocial and psychological needs, because that is going to boost their treatment. Most adolescents taking ARVs undergo challenges such as relationships, engaging in activities as any other girl, discrimination, mental health. They have lots of mental health issues. And that is why we have this increasing rate in drug abuse, because they get, not in the ARVs, but they also get into substance abuse. We also need to have a conversation with them on adherence to the treatment plan. And they have this problem of they're burdened with the pills. Adolescents are truly burdened with taking the pills. They forget a lot because they are free-spirited, so they can't remember that, oh, I had to take my medication and on this time and all of that. So community-based organizations can't handle some issues that concerns those on treatment. It has to go back to the health facilities. The adolescents are afraid of stigmatization. The treatment centers have become too obvious, and they are afraid. They really don't want to go to the treatment centers because it is too obvious. People already know that, okay, this person is HIV. They hide before taking their drugs. And some of the side effects of the drugs, such as lipodystrophy, makes the adolescents, the girls, they are really, really uncomfortable with that. We know adolescents, how they care about their looks, their body, and all of that. And when they have this fat stomach now, they like, oh, I'm not worthy. They feel uncomfortable about that, and so on and so on. Non-compliance pushes them or has a tendency for them to go to the second-line drugs. And with the ARVs and depression drugs, they are now facing taking two drugs at the same time, which is also a very daunting task for them. Family planning is challenging as they are judged. We know in Africa, in our communities, in some of our communities, by the time you get into a health facility and you want to talk about family planning, oh, how dare you? Oh, you're already having sex? Oh, so it's scary. Some actually walk in and then they walk out running because of the judgment. And when we hear the adolescents speak out, I live a healthier life more than those who aren't taking ARVs. We are making progress. They are strong enough to do things to help myself and more productive. Meeting a psychosocial worker is like the best thing because you get counseling, health talks, have fun, which helps strengthen your psychology and makes you have a great vision about yourself. 4 to 20 years struggling on medication makes me question some parents why they had to transfer the virus to their children. Community dispensation of ARVs helps reach out to people. Know that one's mental health is important and most often not addressed. Packaging of the drugs is too obvious. So they want it to look a little bit different, not too obvious that, oh, this is HIV. Meeting a psychosocial worker and being an adolescent at times is so difficult because they will talk to you about condom, but will judge you when you ask for one. My challenge is the fact that it's an everyday something. I mean, why can't they just create something that one can take once in a month to ease our pill burden? Injectable drugs as an option is being thought of. Not very interested in taking PrEP because of the pill burden. They wish to go on a pill break, such as a tablet a month. Disclosure, afraid to lose love, relationships, and friends. Moving forward, how can the needs of the adolescents be addressed in the context of adolescents? In their context, is it a one-size-fits-all? Is more evidence needed to influence policies and change? What are the pharmaceuticals saying? What are the scientists saying and doing? What are the enabling environments by government? What are bilateral, multilateral, international partners saying? How can communities, CBOs, NGOs be strengthened to do more for adolescents? The future is bright. Thank you so much.